So welcome to Breathe. It is Christmas Day for those of you who celebrate Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for those of you who celebrate Hanukkah. And if you don't celebrate anything, you're just having a peaceful time. Welcome, welcome. We're going to come to our comfortable position, whatever that is for us, whether that's lying down or sitting up, and I'll guide those shapes just because for old time's sake, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to begin to just think about, I'm going to probably guide it lying down today. So I'm going to come to lying down here. I've got something on my head. Option might be to have knees bent, feet flat on the floor, or allow the knees to kind of collapse inwards. You might have something under your knees instead, so you could come to this position instead if you wanted to as well, supporting yourself. I know some of you are in bed, so you can stay exactly as you are. If you're sitting, try if you can to have your knees level with or lower than the hips. So what I mean by that is, you'll see here, this is just an example. You don't have to sit like this at all. Knees are level with these hip bones because we would like our diaphragm to have that freedom of movement. So you might be sitting in a chair. You might be sitting in a very different way. You might have lots of support and come to kneeling. Whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to let Georgie in. So as you begin to find your comfortable shape, let's just have a quick check-in to the inbox. Lots of lovely messages. Oh, thanks, Richard. Richard's just popped in there. Special thoughts to those who are having their own day today or going through a rough patch. That's lovely. Thank you, Richard. And Lizzie D just put slow, lazy morning today, still in bed. Hooray for that. Hooray for that. Oh, Ava, thank you. Yeah, it's a very old jumper. I've had it for about 15, 16 years. Fabulous old Topshop jumper. There we go. Lots of lovely messages in there. So we'll just get going. We'll get started. I'm going to now have changed my mind. I'm going to guide it sitting so I can let people in if I need to as well. So just take your time to have a sense of comfort. That last check-in, making sure that you feel comfortable, but also giving yourself permission to move, to pause, to rest at any time. And maybe you shrug your shoulders a couple of times. For those of you where it is morning, maybe you're still in bed, just shrug off the sleep. You can hopefully do this lying down as well. So if you're lying down, you can shrug your shoulders up to your ears if that feels okay, and then gently drop them down. For those of us sitting or have a bit more space, you might like to take a couple of shoulder rolls, a little bit of a wiggle. We were talking about shimmying yesterday in RRR. You might want to do a little shimmy. Eventually, sealing your lips and breathing in and out through your nose. It might be that you softly gaze at something in the room you're in. It might be you feel comfortable closing your eyes. Remembering you can always have something in your hand, a palm buddy, stone, pebble, something to play with, end of a blanket. Just to enable your mind and your body to remember where you are right now, especially if you get anxious or a little bit overwhelmed. So in these first few moments, making sure you've got the support and props and the position you've come to. But then also beginning to tune into your breath as much as feels comfortable for you. So as you breathe in and out through your nose, maybe you begin by feeling and sensing the cooler air of your inhalation as you breathe in and the warmer air of your exhalation. You might like to notice where your breath is moving to. So as you breathe in and breathe out, where can you feel the movement in your body? And perhaps you simply can feel the movement, or maybe you place a hand somewhere in your body or both hands in your body just to feel the movement of your breath. And as you notice where your breath is moving to, the parts of your body that are moving with your inhalation and exhalation, maybe you also get a sense of the rhythm of your breath as well. And what's the texture of your breath like? Is it smooth, soft, a little bit bumpy? Is there a word that you would like to use to describe the texture of your breath? And then, having created that breath print, a kind of image or picture of your breath, you can pop it to one side for now. And come back to focusing on your breath traveling in and out through your nose. And then maybe you think about stretching out your jaw. Any funny faces welcome, so I'll talk you through the ones that we used to do and breathe together. You may like to stick your tongue out, give it a good stretch. You may also like to roll your tongue around the inside of your mouth, stretching into your cheeks, upper and lower lip. Perhaps you also make the fish face, sucking your cheeks in. And then one final shape or noise, if you'd like to, if it's possible even, the horse sound, relaxing into your lips. Softly sealing your lips when you're ready and coming back to breathing in and out through your nose. Maybe here you begin to notice or acknowledge as the cooler air enters your nostril, that sense that your nose, your nasal cavities are warming and humidifying and cleansing your breath, ready for your lungs to receive. Noticing once again the warmth of your exhalation as it leaves your nostrils. And then beginning to try and make your breath a little deeper. So by that I mean beginning to feel your breath is coming all the way down, traveling all the way down to the base of your lungs, our largest portion of our lungs. So if you know it's helpful, maybe you take your hands to the base of the rib cage in whatever position feels possible, feels comfortable for you. And as you breathe in, beginning to feel how your rib cage expands. And as you breathe out, beginning to feel how your rib cage gently retreats back. So an expansion and contraction as you breathe in and breathe out. And some days this is easy and the others sometimes we begin to feel it or think it or guide it, and it comes really naturally, really easily. Sometimes it's a little bit more of a struggle. The body's just not quite ready for that opening and closing. So take your time, allow this to maybe happen organically, if that's possible. That sense of expansion as you breathe in, gentle contraction as you breathe out. For those of you sitting, maybe you're able to allow your belly to be relatively relaxed. For those of you lying down, those deeper abdominals, bellies likely to be soft and relaxed already. Jaw still soft, shoulders relaxed. Breathing in and out through your nose. And we can call this our base level. So this is our deep diaphragmatic breath, and we can stay here if we'd like to. We can come back to this if we want to at any point. So today I thought I would guide the moving of the breath around a little bit to different parts of the body. So a little like dancing with the breath. We're going to place a hand on part of the body and always have a sense that we're directing the breath there. So giving us a focus, a possibility of stilling our mind and focusing on our breath. So I'm going to begin to take my hand, I'm going to mirror you, so I'm going to take my hand to my right shoulder, just here. And as I begin to breathe in and out, I'm trying to feel my hand move. So I'm directing the breath into almost an area of the upper lobes of the lungs. And as we breathe in and out through the nose, our breath will be still travelling into the lungs equally. But now we're giving the mind, the body, a slightly different focus. So you may feel the movement more prominently there, a little bit louder there. And that's the muscles moving, the ligaments moving, the connective tissue moving where you've taken and guided your hand. Remember, you can rest your arm, your hand at any point. Encouraging your jaw, your shoulders to remain soft and relaxed. And then if you'd like to, beginning to focus on moving your breath. So we're going to begin to think about moving the breath to the other side. So you may like to rest that hand and take your other hand to kind of your left shoulder area. So my hand's sitting just under the shoulder blade. It might be more in your shoulder, totally up to you where you take your hand here, where you focus your breath. And still as best you can, breathing in and out through your nose. Jaw soft, shoulders relaxed. And after a few rounds, maybe really beginning to notice how your breath is traveling, where it's moving to underneath your hand. You might like to take a moment to rest your arm, rest your hand at this point. Next point you might like to come to is heart center. So you could take one hand there or both hands there, whatever resonates for you here. And beginning to have a sense that your breath and the expansion is at the center here, at your heart center. Or if it feels possible, maybe you still sense the ribcage expansion as you breathe in and the ribcage retreat as you breathe out. So we're maybe looking at still gentle expansion in the ribcage, but still there's a focus around the heart center and the breath moving here. Remembering you can pause, you can rest at any time, you can come back to our base level, our deep diaphragmatic breath. Ensuring you're supporting yourself here in the best way for you. You might like to rest your arms, your hands down if they have been guiding your breath for a moment or two. I think about taking my right hand just to the base of the ribcage, almost where we began, somewhere there-ish. And it might be, this feels a little awkward for me actually, my arms are getting tired, so it might be you take a hand there and then allow it to rest a little bit quicker if your shoulders are getting tired. Of course, if you're lying down, hopefully you've got the support of whatever surface you're lying on to rest your arm down. And then at this point, you might also like to check in with your jaw. Soft smile if that's possible to relax into the jaw. And when you feel ready, contemplating moving to the other side. So resting the arm down if it's still guiding your breath, and bringing left hand to the base of the left rib cage. You might like to here rest your arm down again. Breath still flowing in and out through your nose. On the last couple of rounds, I'm going to guide. I'm going to invite you to join me in doing a hugging breath. So if you feel you have the energy to do a little hugging breath, I'll just quickly guide it. It's something we've done, but not for ages. Breathing in, we open up. And then breathing out, we give ourselves a big hug. Now you could do one round. You could do more than one round. Breathing in, opening up slowly. And breathing out. Maybe a different arm on top. Also, another option is to pause there and breathe there for a little while. Wherever your hands reach, just guide your breath to those areas. So if the movement feels comfortable to keep going, it's a lovely movement for opening up the chest, stretching into the upper body. But maybe you're in bed, you're restful, or it's evening. I know some of you that are here live, it's the end of your day. So maybe your hands rest in your hugging position and you take a little time there to breathe into wherever your hands are resting. Still breathing in and out through your nose as best you can. Soft belly for those of you sitting. Soft jaw. And if possible, maybe you're taking a few more rounds or you're in stillness. Having a balance, so trying to remember which arm has been on top, which arm you started with, creating that sense of balance with the opposite arm on top that you began with. Maybe you would like to rest your arms down at this point. Breath fluid in and out through your nose. And if you'd like to, coming back to our initial questions, our breath print questions. So noticing how your breath is feeling now. Where is it moving to? Perhaps also the rhythm of your breath. Texture of your breath. And if your eyes have been closed, you may like to gently rub your hands together, creating a little bit of heat. Placing your warm palms over your eyelids. Taking a little bit of time here to allow your eyelids to absorb the warmth from your hands. And when you feel ready, gently releasing the hands away from your eyelids, blinking your eyes open, and coming back into the room. So I'm happy to be here for another 10 minutes. I'm using my Zoom account, not Susie's, because I couldn't get in. So I've only got the 40-minute one. So we've got 10 minutes to hang out if you would like to. And I will, of course, share the recording link to this with everybody that's signed up for the class. And I'll try and put it in the Facebook group as well. But I'm glad it happened because there was a panic just before 8 o'clock. The link's not working, everybody. So any chat, feel free to pop it into the chat box. If you just want to say hello, that's okay. Pop a hand up. If you've got a question, if Hannah's still here, I might just pop it over to her. Just gonna go through the chat box. Some lovely messages here. Oh yes, RRRs. Yes, there's lots of us in here. Oh, you're so welcome, everybody. I'm so glad. It's just a really lovely, very, very special, special thing we have here. I was saying the same thing in RRR. Someone just put in here, it was Janet. Thank you, Karen. Lovely way to start a crazy day. I know for some people it's going to be a crazy day, isn't it? So for some of us, it's going to be much, much quieter and more peaceful. So I'm hoping we can make it whatever it is for us in a good way. It's lovely to see everybody giving themselves a hug as well. That was nice. It's really lovely. Lots of lovely messages coming in. Oh, lots of lovely hearts as well. Thank you, everybody. If anybody wants to say anything, there aren't any hands up. So feel free to just unmute yourself and say hello if you'd like to. I feel like we've got people from around the world at different time zones possibly as well, haven't we? So nice. Everyone's looking incredibly cozy as well. So I'm going to pause there. Oh yeah, Georgie, happy Hanukkah. I'm going to pause there. I will send the recording link. But thank you also for being there here with me today. Wow. It's like our own little Zoom party. Our own Zoom Breathe party. It's really lovely. Who knew? Who knew this would happen? That lovely connection we have. And if at any point during the day you need to pause and breathe, and you can find a cupboard to hide in, it might be a cupboard if you've got a house full, do and give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a big hug and breathe. Opening up, breathing out, closing down, and give yourself a big hug. just to remind you this morning, hopefully, in that moment of peace I hope we've all had. And for those of you having a quiet day, look after yourself. I hope this has brought a lovely moment of connection for you. Enjoy your peace. Enjoy your quietness. Oh, lots of. Oh, Mrs. Cat, yes, Georgie, she's not with me because I'm in London, but I've got a very lovely cat sitter, Demelza, who's sending me messages and making toys for her, actually. She texted me yesterday to say, does Mrs. Cat like to play? And I said, yes, she likes a little bit of a football game. So she's probably playing football with my cat sitter today with a heated blanket. So she's living her best life. Take care, everyone. Have a really, really wonderful day, whatever you are doing, whatever this means for you. And I'm teaching on Friday morning, just gentle, joyful yoga, the normal Friday morning gentle class. I'm guiding that for those of you around. And you're welcome just to be there and lie down, just be in bed, be with us. I probably won't be doing much either. So, but we'll just have that connection there on Friday as well for those who want it. Take care. I'll put the recording link when I get it into the Facebook page and share it out. Lovely to see so many wonderful faces. I'm going to just go next page as well because there's 2 pages of waves. Brilliant. Look after yourselves, everyone.